11,000 meters below the surface of the Pacific, ocean lies a place so hostile, so crushing, so utterly alien, that more human beings have walked on the moon than have ever seen it with their own eyes. It's called the Mariana Trench, and what we've found down there doesn't fully make sense. Yet if you took Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on the planet, and dropped it into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still sit over 2 kilometers underwater. The trench stretches for about 2,550 kilometers across the western Pacific, near the Mariana Islands. Its deepest known point is called the Challenger Deep, sitting at roughly 10,935 meters below sea level. That number is so extreme that scientists still argue over the exact figure, because at that depth, even our best instruments struggle to agree. At that depth, the pressure is over 1,000 times what we feel at sea level. That's the equivalent of an adult elephant standing on every square inch of your body, all at once. Only a handful of manned missions have ever reached the Challenger Deep. In E2 Lilline, Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh descended in a vessel called the Trieste, a bathyscaphe built like a submarine crossed with a steel bathtub. Their window cracked on the way down. They still made it, spent 20 minutes at the bottom, and came back up as the only 2 humans to ever see that place for over 50 years. It wasn't until 2012 that filmmaker James Cameron went back down alone in a custom submersible, becoming the first person to solo the deepest point on Earth. Since then, a small number of explorers have followed, but the total number of people who have reached the Challenger Deep is still smaller than the number of astronauts who've walked on the moon. You'd expect nothing to survive at that pressure. You'd be wrong. Scientists have found strange, translucent creatures thriving in total darkness. Amphipods, sea cucumbers, and single-celled organisms that seem built for a different planet entirely. Some of these organisms have adapted proteins that only function correctly under crushing pressure, meaning if you brought them to the surface, they would fall apart. Even more unsettling, sediment samples pulled from the trench floor have tested positive for man-made pollutants, plastic, fibers, and industrial chemicals, proving that even the most untouched, remote place on Earth is not actually untouched at all. In 1997, hydrophones in the Pacific picked up an enormous, ultra-low frequency sound. It was so powerful, it was detected by sensors over 5,000 kilometers apart. Scientists nicknamed it the Blue. Theories ranged from unknown sea creatures to secret military testing. It was eventually attributed to ice quakes, massive, fracturing ice sheets in Antarctica. But here's the unsettling part. The audio profile of the bloop still resembled something biological enough that, for years, marine biologists didn't rule out an animal explanation.